She walked in and the room changed, not dramatically, not in the way that gets announced or acknowledged out loud, but in that quiet, unmistakable way that happens when someone enters a space and the energy of everything inside it shifts slightly, without anyone being able to explain exactly why. People turned, not because protocol required it, not because an announcement had been made, but because something about her presence demanded attention in the way that only genuinely rare things do. She was composed, elegant in a way that did not feel constructed or performed. She wore the occasion the way people wear things when they are completely comfortable inside their own skin. And for a few extraordinary minutes, every eye in that room was exactly where she was. I was standing close enough to see everything. And what I saw in those first minutes was a woman who understood exactly the way to where she was standing. Royal ceremonies are not simple occasions. They carry history inside them. Expectation, the accumulated significance of a family that has shaped an entire region. Standing inside that history with the kind of composure she brought requires something that cannot be borrowed or performed on short notice. It has to come from somewhere real. From a genuine understanding of who you are and what you represent, and why being present in this particular room on this particular day matters beyond what any camera could capture. She had that understanding. It showed in everything. The way she moved, the way she acknowledged people around her, the way she carried herself through a room full of people who were all watching and waiting to form an opinion. For a while, everything was exactly as it should have been. And then something shifted. It was not loud. It was not the kind of thing that stopped the room the way her entrance had. It was smaller than that, more private, happening in a space between two people that the rest of the room was not supposed to have access to. But I was positioned where I was positioned, and I saw what passed between them in a moment that neither of them intended to be witnessed. A look, the particular kind of look that carries an entire conversation inside it without a single word being spoken. The kind that only exists between two people who have been through enough together that they have developed a language that needs no translation. What she communicated in that look was not anger. It was not the performance of dignity being maintained while something difficult was being felt underneath. It was something quiet to them, both of those things, and more final. It was the look of someone who had arrived at a decision, not in that moment. The decision had clearly been reached long before that room, long before that ceremony, long before any of the careful arrangements that had brought everyone to that particular place on that particular evening. But something in that moment confirmed it, crystallized it, made it real in a way that perhaps it had not yet been made fully real before. He saw it too. I watched him receive it, and what crossed his face in the second after she looked away was something I have thought about many times since. Because it was not surprise, it was recognition, the particular recognition of someone who has been waiting for a moment and finally sees it arrive even though every part of them had been hoping it would not. She wowed everyone at that ceremony. That part of the story is simple and true and exactly what it appeared to be. But what happened in that single private moment between two people surrounded by hundreds told a completely different story, one that no camera captured, one that most people in that room never saw, but one that explained everything that came after.